There's a bear up there. Could even be a grizzly bear.
We've encountered bear yesterday.
It's a grizzly bear. It's a grizzly bear, John. Has a big hump in its back. It's coming this way, actually.
Let's see if we make noise. You got me in it, Ron?
Let's wait. Okay, you're in it now?
Okay, go to the bear.
It's coming this way, you know.
Sure.
Hey!
Hey! Whoa! Hey!
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 Bear!
Turn around now. It's running.
Yeah, I see it.
You got me in too, Ron? Okay.
Where are you? Okay.
I think it went off up the hill now.
Okay, bear's gone now. I don't know.
Grizzly bear.
Grizzly bear. Was it grizzly bear? Okay, there's some fresh bear scat, the grizzly scat. We're like 500 meters, okay. 500 meters beyond where we saw the grizzly. Like once the grizzly ran away, we just kept walking. And here's the fresh scat. You can even see moisture around it.
Now I'm going to get rid of it because I heard some guys shooting their rifles yesterday. And I don't know if you can hunt grizzlies or bears, but there's too few grizzlies in the world and too many people.
Yeah, so we don't want anybody shooting this bear.
Yes.
So we're getting rid of the evidence.
I don't want no hunters to see this and all of a sudden start scouting around.
And shooting the bear.
Yeah, see that?
Trying to get rid of the bear evidence.
Completely fresh. Looks like it's eating cow parsnip or something.
Yeah, it looks like it could be eating cow's parsnip. If you don't know what that plant is, Google it. Bears love it. And getting rid of the bear evidence. That was pretty cool. The ATVs are coming along. ATVs.
And we won't mention nothing.
We're not going to tell them we saw a grizzly in case these guys are bear hunting.
Okay.
How's it going, boys?
Pretty good. How's it going?
Good. You're just getting your steps today.
Yeah, I want to get exercise, so I climbed the hill with the jeep and then I'm just walking. Best way to see. Yeah, they just passed us by, asked us if we seen any wildlife, and we said no, we see nothing. It looks like they might they had rifles with them, and so I told them that yeah, they probably come out in the evening time. They're probably used to the loggers that are here during the weekdays.
Yeah. Do you guys see any bears? Seen any elk? Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Said,
Haven't seen no bears, no elk.
Nothing. And so I don't want to
contribute to.
I don't hate hunters. I just hate hunting.
Yeah, I don't separate the person from what they're doing. Like sometimes you don't like what they're doing, but it doesn't mean you don't like the person.
They're not bad people. They're probably good, nice people.
Lots of people with good souls do bad things.
Yeah, so it's the separating the activity from the person. I
Yes.
don't like diminishing, especially like grizzlies and
things that are rare.
When I was younger, there was much more wildlife than there is today, and we're actually in the greatest mass extinction phase the planet has ever seen. It seems that they're like over a person's lifetime, they might not notice too much, but I even noticed from my youth to now. And if you look at the scale of
over the long term, like thousands of years, yes, mass extinction is taking place.
The worst mass extinction phase ever, right now.
For instance, there are only 700 grizzlies in all of Alberta.
Yes.
That's like a small town of people.
Yeah, and in BC they're protected now.
And there's a max of 10,000 grizzlies in BC, but that's an overestimate.
That's based on suitable habitats.
That's based on how much the habitat can support the actual number of grizzlies are
much lower.
far fewer.
Yes, and so I'm not going to help hunters find game.
Yeah, not going to help them.
No.
Okay, enough. We are about 3 kilometers beyond where we saw the grizzly. And there's lots of logging in this area. As you can see, my brother's standing beside a log loader.
It's Sunday today, so it's a holiday.
Yeah, it's Sunday, so they're not working.
There's a sign up there that says no entrance, active logging, but it's Sunday today.
You can see you got all the logs piled up. You got all the heavy equipment here.
We're very close to Yoho National Park. I'm an environmentalist and I care much about wildlife and the environment. But then you can see the extreme double standards and extreme different positions the individuals take inside the park. They say you can't even use biodegradable soap. You have to pick up your food bits, strain your food bits, and carry them out.
Don't leave a trace.
Don't leave not even the slightest trace. No,
and I do believe that, and I try to adhere to that.
I adhere to that, and I agree with that. But then I see what happens just a few kilometers outside of the national parks. Then these guys logging, you sometimes see barrels lying beside the road. We walk up the road and you can see
grease tubes,
discarded grease tubes lying on the road, discarded pieces of plastic and barrels.
Lots of pollution.
And there's and the old logging equipment is sometimes left behind, and the plastic containers, the barrels, are left beside the road. You can see now the loggers, they don't seem to be held to the same standards for economic activity. These guys do. I know logging is necessary.
Yeah, we need the paper, we need the lumber. So I'm not against logging because we actually need that stuff.
But I see the different standards, the extreme different standards people apply in one situation versus another.
It's one extreme to the other extreme. Yeah. Although I have nothing against loggers, nothing against the logging companies. They have to, if they were like fanatically environmentalists, it would be uneconomical. They could not compete with other sources of paper and lumber in the world.
We're talking about the activity, not the individuals, or again, separating the people from the activity.
Or you could say separate the sin from the sinner. You could love the sinner, hate the sin, but this is, I'm not saying loggers are sinners.
Just noting the difference in the positions.
To the extremes. Like we're just a few kilometers, not that far from Yoho, where all those fanatical, okay, fanatical is the wrong word. Let's just say, I don't know what the word is, extreme, even though I agree with it, so I shouldn't call it extreme. But, okay, I can't find the right word, but,
and yeah, when we're talking about the grizzly bear, we saw a grizzly bear like 3 kilometers up the road. When they tell you there's like there might be 10,000 grizzlies in BC, that's based on the carrying capacity of the environment, the suitable habitat. They have not carried out no census of grizzly bears.
So they don't actually know the true number? It's probably far fewer?
My true opinion on the numbers, there's just probably like a quarter, maybe not even that.
And my brother and I know a thing or two about bears. While we were getting our forestry degree at UBC, we have forestry degrees, we took a year of wildlife as an elective from Fred Bunnell.
He was the grizzly bear expert.
And he was like a top bear expert in the world at the time. His name was Fred Bunnell, and we took a year of wildlife off that guy, and he was like maybe the top bear expert on the planet.
Yeah, and I myself have 3 scholarships from UBC.
Okay, you're bragging now, John.
I might be bragging, but it's the truth.
Okay.
So I know what I'm saying.
So we know what we're talking about when we talk about bears, and we know we're not just mouthing off our dumb opinions. Okay, we know a thing or two about bears and the outdoors and wildlife and plants and all that. Okay, enough said. Enough of a rant. Okay, there I see discarded what appears to be a petroleum container.
Plastic petroleum containers, 3 of them just in the slash pile.
Yeah, there's another one. Bunch of discarded containers of petroleum, and here's a puddle of oil. A puddle of oil. Or oil floating on top of the water. It's old dark and greasy oil puddle. So
there you go.
There you go. There you go. Okay, I don't know what type of pollutant is in that puddle, but it stinks. It smells. Has a
very bad smell.
A bad odor to it, and that is a very unnatural color.
Let's see if the tracks are greased up with grease. They go through here, go through the water with their greased up tracks. That could be the some residue for what comes off the tracks as they go through the mud, because they're going through mud and water, and maybe that rubs off into the mud and water, and that leaves the residue from, because I imagine the tracks on the logging vehicles do have a lot of grease on them.
And again, I want to repeat, have nothing against logging and loggers. It's necessary evil. Well, it's not evil, okay, evil's the wrong word again.
They just say man is a destructive force on the planet.
Man can't help but be destructive. Just the modern lifestyle demands destruction. There's no way around it. So I'm not faulting logging companies or loggers.
And people have to make a living.
And people have to make a living. And people just, just the modern lifestyle demands destruction.
It's the nature of mankind.
It's the nature of mankind, and it cannot be avoided. So do not get upset with us if you're a logger.
We're just pointing out the activities and the situation. We're not
against logging.
And we're not like pointing fingers at anybody and saying they're doing wrong.
It's one of British Columbia's top employers and industries.
And the people in Golden depend.
And the people of the town of Golden depend on logging. And so no, we're not against logging. So just make that perfectly clear.
But we're just showing you what logging does to the environment.
And not logging alone, but so many of man's activities is destructive, but it's necessary for our modern lifestyle. Just necessary.
Yeah.
Just the way it is.
If you want to be a real environmentalist, then do not go on exotic vacations with airplanes, because there's an enormous amount of carbon output from taking...
Okay, and ride around on a bike if you can, instead of a car.
Yes, ride a bike and have a small house.
And have a very tiny house. Don't have a big house. Tiny house.
No swimming pools allowed.
No swimming pools. A tiny house. Keep the temperature at like 68.
Yeah, and then you'll have a minimal impact on the environment, and then you'll be a true environmentalist.
And then you could rant about the environment.
Driving a small car or an electric vehicle, that's not enough. That just... and
then if you go on multiple air travel, one long distance airplane trip pollutes as much carbon output as driving an SUV for the entire year.
Yeah, so look into jet travel. Per individual.
Per individual. So if you think you're doing your part by just driving a little electric car,
and then you go on lots.
But then you go on lots of exotic vacations with airplanes.
Really big home, a 4,000 square foot.
And you got a 4,000 square foot home and a swimming pool.
You're an incredible hypocrite who's ignorant.
And then you're just ignorant, and you're not actually. You're still very destructive to the planet and the environment.
And if everybody lived to that standard,
and the whole world, the world could not take it.
Yes.
There's a nice pothole to avoid if you're driving this road. Hard to tell on video, but that's like 4 feet deep. It goes down quite a ways. There's a nice little waterfall up there while I'm filming the pothole. Might as well film that thing. On we go.